No, it did a countdown. You started talking during it.
You were like, you said, like, I'm going, and I was like, all right. And I sat down and looked, and there was no countdown going.
Good afternoon, folks. There was a countdown on my screen,
I
and
didn't see no
apparently
countdown.
Jordan's missing countdowns over here. What's new?
Whatever.
But
Whatever.
hey! While I grab this link, why don't you explain what FTP means? File transfer protocol or something like that? You were saying, right?
Yeah, it means for the pride, for us Lions fans.
For us
For the
Lions
pride.
fans. For those of us who don't know, Jordan's a Lions fan and also a sporty, which I think is kind of crazy.
Why is that crazy?
Well, I don't know. Like we talk about D&D and we talk about all this nerd stuff, and there is like a really big overlap, I feel like, between nerd culture and like sports culture, because in reality, like I've seen fantasy football drafts, I've seen how people get into like sports.
Yeah.
It is just a D&D campaign. Like you really are just putting in the same type of energy. But I don't know very many sporties myself. You're one of the only ones. You and Adam, I will say.
Yeah. Sam. Sam's one too.
Well, okay. Is Sam like a sports guy though?
Yeah.
I don't think does he go to games and stuff?
Yeah. Yeah, Sam likes sports. I mean, whether or not he follows every sport is, I mean, like Sam loves college football, and I don't watch college football. You know, like Sam is like a diehard U of M fan. You know, and I don't really watch college. So like that he's big. He likes the Lions. You know, he may be like, I'm not gonna say he doesn't like them as much as me. I wouldn't say that, but like, you know, I would say like maybe he doesn't like show it as much as I do. Where like I almost make like Lions fan is like a part of my personality, and that's a little cringe. You know, he does a good job of like not doing that.
Cringe. Well, I mean, hey, dude. At this point, like, so philosophically, let's get into it right now because I'm here for making shit your personality. Like, if that's part of your personality, like, if you want to care about that, do it. Make that a hill that you die on. There's this quote, and I can't remember what the full quote is, but it talks about look at this wasteland of hills that you refuse to die on, or something like that. And it's like one of those like famous literature quotes. It's because you refuse to make a stand on any of those hills. You refuse to find a hill to die on, so your opinions mean nothing, and therefore you're kind of a wasteland of a person who doesn't care, as opposed to someone who cares about all the small things and has a hilly rolling environment.
If you don't die on a hill, you die in a gutter.
If you don't die on a hill, you die in a gutter. Oh, that's a good one.
Are
you Googling these right now? I'm like, wait, shit.
I just made that up on the spot.
That's off the dome.
That's off the dome, folks.
I'm here for that. Okay. Well, hey. So, to everyone here on the Joey Matterhorn channel, if you're here for the first time, my name's Cody. This is Jordan. We are part of Good Rep Media, and Good Rep Media is a small business marketing agency. We help small businesses get ranked on Google. We help small businesses create content. We help them with their social media. Anything that has to do with your reputation for your customers, anything that has to do with your branding, that's kind of what we're here to kind of help out with. Today, our game plan was actually to talk about some of our internal processes. If you run an agency, if you work online, maybe this will be some valuable information for you. But we've used quite a few different project management software. We've used quite a few different like team communication software. And I kind of just wanted to dive into how we use those, why we swapped up, and our experience with like working as a team. Because we started on Skype, we're now using Teams. We've started with Asana, we've used Trello, we've used a bunch of different task management software, and we even made our own for a year there. But I think we have a little bit of experience, and we have some pain points that would be really interesting to talk about.
Yeah. I know I personally am like a big checklist kind of guy, and I know you know that. Like that's kind of how you feed me. Like, hey, these are the things I need you to do, and you realize I do much better when it's like I can check them off as I go.
Yep.
The problem starts to become when I have a checklist over here and a checklist over there and then a checklist here. And it's like, and I need to consolidate them all into one. That's kind of where like I will almost like do that where I'll be like, okay, I've been given this to do and I've been given this to do. I'm just gonna go make my own personal document where I don't have to make it all fancy. I don't have to do anything. I can just open up on Google Sheets and I can just like paste in what you just sent me, and I can make my own checklist that I can kind of knock out at my own. I know you hate that because you want me to be checking off on a list where it's like you can see, and I get that, and I do totally get it.
Well, no, and I think you're 100% valid because we're gonna have two different viewpoints here, and I think those are good viewpoints to get because I, as a manager, I do need to see like when things are done. I'm keeping like a top level view of like, okay, when we get this page finished, we can post it on social media. When we can post it on social media that this has gone live, we can do a whole campaign surrounding it. And so I'm game planning around projects being done, pages being created, and some of these like checks. But I do the exact same thing. Like I have, not even kidding. We've gone through project management software after project management software, and I still to this day keep a note stock for myself of like it's one running note stock of like everything that I would need. And so I'm not surprised. I think everyone at a fundamental level, I learned it from Ed, our lawyer before, because he would keep a written list of like, okay, someone brought him a task, he'd put it on the written list and he just work his way down every single day.
I used to, when I worked at an apartment complex, I used to do sticky notes at the desk.
Yeah.
I'd like write something down on a sticky note and stick it somewhere. And then I remember I overheard someone kind of talking a little shit because I'm not like the most organized person, that it became sticky notes everywhere. And it wasn't like it was my desk. It was like the desk, you know? And like I get where that became super annoying for those people. But it was like, yeah, I just had sticky notes everywhere. And like our manager was like, this is driving me crazy. And I was like, okay, I'll figure out a better way to do this.
Yeah. So did you figure out a better way?
I don't remember. Probably not.
That's the juice. That's the sauce. That's what we got to get for the pod, my dude, is that better way of doing it. Because in that scenario, like flat out, so Cassidy's in the same thing. She works in a hospital. And those people, when you're working in a hospital, they swap out of computers all of the time. She'll be using it for her x-ray. She'll swap out with a nurse. She'll swap out with someone else. And so these basically like moving battle stations for these medical professionals are absolutely covered in notes all of the time, like laminated, tape down. She'll talk about how, oh, there were like 3 new sticky notes reminding us about this brand new update to protocol. And it's crazy to think about because I imagine your apartment complex was similar where you have a whole bunch of like corporate protocol to work through and to make sure everything's like perfect. We don't have that at Good Rep.
No.
Like, we're very much on the level of like, if we can get it done, we get it done. We've created our own best practices. We're not answering to some higher authority who's like out there. And you talk about like, oh, I need to like create a reporting doc. Like, you report it to me mainly.
Yeah.
Like, you're not here waiting for Joe Schmo in a different state that you never see to review it, you know?
Exactly. And it's not like I don't also like turn to you almost all the time and go, hey, I got that done. You know, like,
well, exactly.
Like,
it's a little bit different when you're in this scenario.
But then when there's 1,000 different messages throughout a day where it's like, hey, I got this done, and then 2 hours later, hey, I got this done, and it's like, oh wait, did he get that done? Do I have to dive through this whole chat to see? Where it's like, no, I should update it on the list, and then you can just go look at a list and see what I've gotten done and what.
Yeah. And so when we first dove into this, you started getting into it because you were like, hey, when I have a list over here and I have a list over here and I have a list over here, things really start to suck. And I feel like recently everything is moved to like these big centralized hubs of like, it's almost like, what's your tech stack? Well, my tech stack is Microsoft Teams, and we've got everything in Teams. I've got my daily chats. I've got my like Teams. I upload my files for reporting.
I
got
even
my
just
like
added
app.
a checklist function to it, like last time we were talking on like Thursday.
Well, exactly. And it's literally like, what apps can I add to it? What AI, note takers? You add everything to your Teams or your Asana or Slack or Trello or whatever it might be. Like, I so I said all of those names, and I'm realizing Trello has an integration with Teams, and there's an app for Trello in Teams. So all of these things are all integrating with each other, and you're figuring out what answers the questions that you need. And so for us, like, what are the questions that we needed to answer when we swapped off of Skype? Do you think, like, what's our biggest like organizational things?
I think one of the big things, at least as like a whole company, less good rep, but like as a
Yeah.
company as a whole, I think one of the big things that we had to accomplish first was like getting links to like documents and stuff like that to be easier for people to find. Cause like in Skype, it was like they would go to a chat that had the link and they'd go to it. Whereas Teams had this whole new feature where it's like, oh, we can just now add these like bookmarks to the top, you know? And
Yeah.
I think one thing that helped that was a lot of people kind of fought against like the change to Teams, where Teams is very simple, works just like Skype did, but just seeing something new made them very hesitant. And so having like, hey, here's a whole link, you can click this, and here's 10 different like videos that you can watch that are going to tell you how to work Teams, I think made people much more comfortable in that transition.
Yeah, and I do think it's worth noting, and this is for actually good advice for anyone who's swapping over or using new systems. Anytime you swap systems, people are going to hate it. People are going to complain about it, even if it is actively better in every single way.
Mm-hmm. I complained
Um,
about it. I
oh,
complained
I
about it.
complained about it too. So as a company, our industry had originally existed almost completely entirely on Skype. So we used Skype for the longest time. Um, and I don't know, like I was the only person I know of that used Skype.
Yeah,
I don't know anyone else who used Skype.
I had friends who like actively laughed at me when I told them that.
Well,
Like,
exactly. Well, and it's crazy, but our entire industry, like professionally, I would go to events and we would exchange Skype profiles. Like it was like a business card. It'd be like, hey, what's your Skype? Here, add me. And the thing is, it really sucked trying to get people on Skype because you needed to share, like it was just outdated. It was
yeah.
awful. You couldn't
They had like
share
the
very
weirdest
easily
IDs that were just like a string of random letters that was just like, man, this
that
could
you
be
couldn't
like,
change
we
or
have
edit.
usernames, we have unique usernames that like, why can't you just use that? Yeah, no, it was pretty crazy. But want to know something funny? I still
Yep.
have like the messages. You can see it in my like Google account from like I want to say it was like 2011. Like I was still in high school. And like
Oh,
I saw my friend, like I was on Google and it told me that he was on Teams. And like I was like, I didn't even know Teams existed back then. I remember sending him a message like, hey, like Teams, what the hell are you doing on Teams right now, bro? Like I was on Skype and I was like, LOL Teams. And then like you fast forward a decade and a half later, and it's like, oh no, he was ahead of his time. He knew.
well, exactly. And right now, I'll be real, like Teams is phenomenal. It does so much more than Skype ever possibly did. But when so we as an industry, we all existed on Skype. And I think it's funny because Emily mentioned it, the Skype ding. Oh, Skype had so many like
You're going
iconic
like this.
sounds.
She's saying she had PTSD from it, and you're like,
Oh no,
the
the
ding.
PTSD is real. I also had PTSD, but they're iconic. They stood
Yeah.
out. Like I'm never going to not like I'm going to hear that Skype ding for the rest of my life. It's exactly like remembering Table 4's ranch. Like if you ever worked as a server, you'll remember that one time you forgot that one condiment for that one table forever.
Yeah. Um, I find it funny because like I don't know, in my brain, like I hear so many like my iPhone dings, I hear
Mhm.
Teams, Discord, and like I think there was a time there where my brain was able to be like, oh, that was a Discord ping, oh, that was a Teams ping. But now all of a sudden it's like my brain at some point just forgot which ones are which. And now I hear like a notification ping and I'm like, which one was that?
You've slowly been like
Like
over.
degrading. Like, yeah,
Well,
my ability to recognize has gone down.
yeah, and it's literally like a over inundated with sounds and notifications. Skype had the dings first, probably. Like, let's just assume, and we'll say it out loud.
Sure.
Skype was the first thing to ever ding you. Now everything dings you. Literally everything ding you. And I will say, I love Discord. I wish as a company we would swap to Discord, but I feel like Discord has this like notion of being non-professional, and that's just a little almost
We
anxiety inducing.
Yeah, we tried to. Well, I mean, I get it because it's more like a gamer platform for the most part. I mean, there's a lot of things that happen outside of that, but like that's how it's viewed for the most part, and I think that's how it's marketed for the most part. But like when you break it down to what it does and what its components are and everything, it's like, yeah, no, this has all the tools to be great for a business to run, you know,
Mhm.
and but also so is Teams. So is Teams. and Teams gives you the more professional, and Teams kind of has like a little bit more easily accessible integration to it. You know, it's just like you click the little plus and then you go to Trello and then like you have Trello added. Whereas Teams, it's like, no, you have to find a bot for it and you have to import the bot and then you have to program the bot. And like, I don't know. I think that there's definitely a little bit more accessibility through Teams than there is through Discord. I think
Well,
you know, I feel safe saying this in our company live here because I'm sure not enough of them are watching for it to be an issue. We got some old people that I don't think would bounce well off Teams or off Discord. I think
yeah,
Discord would be tough for them.
there are some specific like issues with Teams that I think Discord solves. I don't think that they're issues that are really necessary for us to solve as a company. You know what I mean? Like, I love being able to pin in Discord. It's really easy, it's simple to do, but it is not easy and simple to do the same thing on Teams.
Right.
Can you
And
still do it?
yes.
Yes.
Yes. But
So,
like, but it doesn't make it like pinning in Discord is like, oh, now you click this button and here's all of your pens. Pinning in Teams, like it gets harder to get and navigate through your pen. Like if you only have like one pen per conversation, Teams is fine. But once you start getting like 10 plus pens per conversation, Teams becomes really hard to navigate your pens and get back to the things you penned.
mhm.
Yeah, and it just gets sloppy up at the top, like when it kind of puts it there. I know I have like the one in our conversation where it's like if Joe has one hater, I am him. If Joe has zero haters, I am dead, kind of thing. Like pinned up there at the top.
Yeah. So I will say, just to kind of like bring this all back around in general, these new tools are almost all encompassing, and figuring them out is difficult, but they are so much better than what we had before.
Yes.
I don't think it is even comparable. And I say that as someone who didn't work in, you know, the 80s, 90s, the early 2000s. So I don't know how it was back then
Yeah.
when you were like clocking in with your, you know, cards at
I've
the
I've
corner.
done a fair share of clocking in with an actual time card, actually like punching
Oh,
a
with like
time
an actual
card.
time
Yeah.
card?
Yeah,
I've
I've only
never
really
actually
done it at like factories, but like I've definitely done it a couple times in a couple
see, I
different
never had a time card. I had sign-ins. So I had like, here's my number and then
jobs.
clock in. Like you had to go to a
Yeah.
POS or a point of sale or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I've had that at like Meyer or in like the back room. It was like a thumbprint and stuff like that. But then yeah, there's been a couple times when I worked at Avis Rent-A-Car. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, like it was like a little you put it down there and then you stamp it.
You do
Uh,
the whole thing?
yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my
you did the whole thing. And then like I went to
God, I was jealous.
I worked at a factory for a little bit, a tumble finish factory, kind of near Lansing. And yeah, when we worked there, it was like actually punching a hole in your thing, like when you do it.
See, and that's so cool. Like
That's
so
it.
I'm a huge history nerd. I love things like that. I love the like tradition. I love the this is how we've done it since 1980 and we've never had to change it because it works for us. Like I'm here for that type of thing.
I'm gonna order one and put it up on my wall, and like I'm just gonna use it to motivate me to do chores. Like I'm just gonna like punch in for like chores, you know,
Yeah.
and then be like, all right, done doing stuff around the house, clock out, and then I can look back on it and be like, I did really good that day. I cleaned the apartment for an hour that day.
Clock in, clock out. Oh, dude. See, I would 100% do something like that. Be like, oh, I'm clocking in, gotta do the laundry. I'd keep a running log of how
He's
everything.
like,
No,
you kind of want to do it now, don't you? You
yeah,
kind of want to get yourself a time clock.
I'm the thing is, so it's a funny idea. We start talking about it. I start turning it into actionable steps of like, wait. There's enough uses now. What is the price point that this becomes acceptable?
Yeah,
Like,
$25 probably. $25 for a little wall hanger, and
don't
then maybe like $5 for a pack of sheets.
for a pack of sheet.
You're
For
gonna
a
be
pack of
you're
time
gonna be
cards for
burning like every week. You're gonna need a new one, dude. Those things aren't digital.
Those things aren't digital, man. That's actually super freaking funny. But so, anyways, bringing this all back around, these tools are phenomenal. They exist. They're all apps on your phone. So, like, I've got Teams on my phone. I had Skype on my phone. everything takes place in there and everything is available in there. I can attach a Google Doc to my Teams. I can go into Asana and assign tasks. I can, well, I want it to be known that there are two different things that we're talking about here. Teams and Skype are very like communication focused. Trello, Asana, they're like tasks. They're task management software. So it's like, hey, I've created a card for this task and I can assign it to someone. Trello and Asana integrate into Teams. I don't think either of them integrated into Skype. They might have.
I don't believe so, but I also don't know that we were really trying to do that type of stuff when we were on Skype. Like
No.
I don't know that we were trying to do too much integration. That being said, I don't think we were trying because I don't think it was an option that much.
Yeah. Well, and it's worth noting, and I do think this is a pitfall to talk about and to definitely like bring up, worth mentioning. Um, People are going to complain about whatever task management software, whatever program you're using for communication. That's not an excuse to not use it.
Right.
Ever.
Yeah.
Period. End of conversation. Um, I know we've run into that where people are like, I really don't like this. I'm not going to use it. That's not a way to go about things. Just like
No.
on a personal, like fundamental person to person level, that's not how it's going to work. And that's not a beneficial thing to like think. That's not a way to go through life.
All that leads to is your owner inevitably doing his like every 2 month jump into like the main chat and be like, quit saying you're not going to do things, people, like do your job.
Quite literally. And it's just kind of annoying. Like, there are going to be changes, there are going to be advancement, there are going to be growing pains. Like Jordan and I both said, when we swapped from Skype to Team, I think we both complained. But at the end of the day, we weren't there complaining and creating like an environment of complaint and anger and frustration. We didn't feed off of each other to cause a riot. It was very much like this sucks, but like I'm gonna learn it. And then we learned it, and it's awesome. And it does so much more than we could think
and
or
like
want.
I want to be clear. I knew the whole time that we were moving to an upgrade because like the whole time we all knew Skype sucked.
We're all complaining about Skype.
And so like I knew it was an upgrade, but like I just fight change. It's just kind of who I am, like I'm not good at it.
It's normal too. Like I don't think most people like change like that. We get stuck in our ways, and I think like personally, as I'm aging, like I'm 31 now, and I'm like, as I get older, I don't want to be that old man who can't keep up with the times. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't want to be a curmudgeon-y old man.
Oh, I was just thinking about it. I think I was talking to someone the other day. Like I was like, the brain rot from like the like younger kids where it was like, yeah, skibbity and all of that. And it's like, we don't understand what that means, but like we had still heard it. We had heard kids saying it. It was there. But now I think we're starting to get to that age and there's a new generation coming in that we're going to start getting hit by these like brain rot terms that we've never even heard before. We are finally going to be like, what are you even talking about? Whereas like, at least with Skibbity, we were like, that is so, forgive my language, that is so fucking stupid, and then like, now all of a sudden it's going to be like we understand why they're doing it. Now it's like, I don't even get this. Like even 1%, I don't even understand.
My whole thing is I don't want to sit there and understand it. I just don't want to care and be upset about it. Okay, kids are going to skibbity because when we were kids, we did stupid, crazy, weird shit. We did. Yeah. Like I don't want to pretend at any point that I didn't do something crazy and weird like skibbity, that I didn't say crazy off the wall, whatever. 100% I did. But I don't want to be the old man who looks at it and be like, what's wrong with our kids?
Yeah, who like judges them for that. Or at least like vocally judges. I think you're always going to be like, what are you talking about?
Well, like, I think fundamentally we're going to look
always going to be stupid.
Yeah, I think we can look at it and be like, oh my god, children are dumb. Because even now, dude, I look at I say kids, I look at people in their like early 20s, mid 20s, and I'm like, oh, you sweet summer child, you are like, what are you even doing? What are you experiencing in life for this to be who you are right now?
Growing up is becoming more like your parents. Maturing is understanding it.
Like 100%. And it's so. Have you had the period or the conversation or the thought yet where my mom, when she was my age, had me at 10 years old. So it'd be like if I had a 10-year-old right now, that would be my mom in my shoes. That's insane.
It's pretty crazy.
So
That's pretty
for
crazy.
you, I know aren't your parents a little bit older?
They're a little bit. They're in their early 60s. So like I think I was just kind of being born around this time. My brother might have been a couple years.
Couple years down the line.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, respect. Even then, they're sitting there. Could you
Yeah, like they
imagine
still have
having
a
a kid
child.
right now?
I don't.
Exactly.
I mean, I have a lot of friends who do. So like, I get it. But
that is fair. But also, I'm just like I don't know. It's crazy to think about them in that context.
I don't look at that like that as like, oh, they were so much like I don't picture it like they did that fast or anything. To me, it's almost like I feel like I'm a little behind on it,
Well,
like.
and I think that's like a universal thing, man. Because, dude, I feel behind. I feel insanely behind, and I'm sure most people in this position feel behind. But I'll be real, and it's hard for me not to be bitter about it because it's hard not to feel behind when my parents, like I said, at this age, they had me when they were 10, but they also had a home, their second home, and they had it on like literally 70% of what I make by myself right now. Like, and actively the money was worth different, the house, whatever. The whole scenario was 100% completely different, but it's crazy to think about.
So my favorite band is the Wonder Years.
Yeah.
They have an album, and it's arguably the best album that they've ever done. It's like a lot of people's favorite album. It's called The Greatest Generation, and like the whole premise of it is kind of about that feeling of like falling behind and looking at like where his parents were, where his grandparents were, how they lived, like what from them is affecting how he is now, and kind of about dealing with some of like the mental and emotional issues that he has from his parents and kind of like where he's at in life and stuff like that. And it was really good. And it's one of my most favorite albums of all time. And I don't know, just talking about this makes me think about that.
It 100%. And it's a really, really difficult thing to deal with because the world that allowed those things to happen doesn't exist anymore. Like realistically, it's just not functionally there for most of us. If I had a kid when I was 21 years old, I would not be in the position that I'm in now. I don't like I don't
you be?
I don't know how I would be.
Yeah. I don't know like how anybody really can in this world, like if you have a kid before you have like a reliable job that you can balance with that kid, it's like how could you ever land on your feet from that? And like I hope that everyone can, I'm not judging anybody, I'm judging the world and like
the world that puts it in this scenario. Like I am in a position right now in my life, and I feel like so like thankfully privileged in this spot where I am old enough. I have got a partner. We're talking about kids and stuff like that, not in a realistic sense, but like maybe in a couple of years, save up money, planning and being ready, because we're in a position where we both have stable careers and we're like, hey, can we actually make this happen? And we're still not sure we can afford it. We're like in a perfect spot. We're figuring it out. We're like talking about it and we're like, okay, so if you do this, like, how do we work out like not having an income for that period of time? How are we going to work out like daycare? And like thinking about it, even from our privileged spot of both having full-time, I work from home. Like I could probably deal with a kid on top of like whatever.
Now think about like how much that's going to take away from your ability to work from home.
Well, exactly. So it's like trade-offs on all of those things. There's a lot of difficulties, but it's on top of like I'm in this privileged position. How much more difficult is it for others? Like I don't want to have a kid because of that, and I'm someone who wanted to have a kid.
Yeah.
How are people in other positions doing it? It's amazing to me that some people are doing it. Like actually crazy.
It's a tough world, and like some people manage to get by a little bit better than others, and kudos to them.
Kudos to them. But with that said, going back to the tech stack of Microsoft Teams versus Asana and all that, olden days, some of the more personalized connections. Does Joe have your phone number?
Yes.
Yeah. Does Joe contact you on your phone number?
Not very often. He has.
He has
a couple times.
How do you feel?
Mostly since like I don't talk to Joe very much since like the whole like Good Rep
Yeah.
restructuring and everything. So like now not very often, but there was a time where, you know, I'd probably talk to him like maybe like once a month or so, maybe not that often.
Yeah. See, and I've got Joe on my personal phone, and we call pretty regularly. And I'll be real, I'm becoming less sensitive to the whole idea of having like a work life balance. Not necessarily a work life balance, but a break between my work life and my private life, if
Yeah.
that makes sense. And so when I first started at the company, I didn't want to have, like, I created a Facebook for work to keep it separate from my personal Facebook.
Yeah.
And I'm getting to a point where I'm almost like, why do I have two? This is just kind of confusing. But I do think that's also because I'm associated with Good Rep, and I like actually am somewhat proud of Good Rep and
Yeah.
what we do.
Yes.
So
So I also did the same. Like, you know, I was told to do that when I
yeah, that
started, you know.
be safe,
Um
protect ourselves.
and that's because, you know, there's a whole other side to the business outside of like what Good Rep's got going on that, you know, might find yourself like if you connect your personal to it, you may find yourself getting spammed a bit and stuff like that,
Yeah,
just due to the industry that we find ourselves in. And
yeah,
it's just safer. Like I have like my LinkedIn is so filled up with like not real potential like resources or anything like that, that there's a part of me that's like, as soon as I'm done here, I'm probably going to make a new LinkedIn.
yeah. And see, I'm over here thinking that it's probably time for cleanup on all of these things because they're well, like I'm associating myself more professionally with who I am. Like I work in marketing. I am a marketer. Like that is who I am. I also do Dungeons and Dragons. And at this point, like I was talking to Cassidy, my partner, about this. There's over 100 hours of recorded video content of me talking online right now. And that's
Yeah.
kind of a crazy thing to like think about or like realize that I've actively within the past couple of months put out over 100 hours of my voice talking online. And if I'm going to put my name out there, if I'm going to put my face and my voice and like me out there, why am I worried about like keeping my social media separate? Like,
Yeah.
should I really be separating those audiences? First of all, should
Uh,
I be separating out all of these like potential resources? Now, you talked about an audience on LinkedIn that you probably want to burn that LinkedIn. Yeah, I'm there too. I've got that same situation.
I'm still at a point of like trying to disassociate my personal socials from like things we got, to the point where I won't watch our shorts on my phone. If they come up on my phone, I skip them so that my phone doesn't think I want to watch them. I will watch them on
Well,
my computer. I will watch them on my computer. I'm not saying I won't watch our content because I want to be that disassociated with it. I just don't want it on my phone. I don't want it showing up as like, when someone goes to my profile, they'll also be like, "Oh, you may be also interested in Good Rep Media," you know, like just because they are looking for me.
yeah, you don't
Um,
want that. You don't want that algorithm associated with you. Yeah. See, and I think I'm over that hump. Like I do go in and like I'll like client stuff on my personal account. I've got like a couple of personal pages followed like that.
I do
And
that.
I'll
I do
I'll
do
be
that for
real.
our massage therapist. You know, I like his stuff personally. Like we follow each other. He likes my stuff I personally post, and like I like his and
Yeah.
stuff. You know.
Well, and it's I think I'm thinking about it because I do other things and I'm kind of like I don't want to segment myself out so much. I feel like having those two separate profiles is almost just kind of confusing to a point. And I keep them both generally active, but I'm also like I'm not active on social media very much, man. Like I'll be real.
See, I
I'm more
used
active for work social media than anything else.
See, I used to be pretty active as far as like posts and stuff, and I still kind of will get out there and like share some stuff every now and then. But like I'm not nearly as active as I used to be, at least as far as like my profile, like making posts. I
Mhm.
still, and this is something that I want to be better at not doing. I still find myself in comment threads a lot, either arguing with people, telling
Yeah.
them they're stupid, telling them how good I am. You know?
God,
No,
I
no,
want you to know
it's
hearing that
not
just
like
made me cringe in my
I know.
soul.
I don't actually do. I do get in there and I do like find myself like, you know, a lot of sports debate. I try not to do like political debate too often. Especially because I don't even like politics. Like I'm someone who always considered myself to be apolitical, but then like due to certain circumstances, I found myself shifting way away from the middle. And yeah, and it's just like I hate this. I hate that I'm doing it, and yet I'm still just sitting there doing it, you know?
That right there, that sounds like an addiction.
It is.
Oh, and we're doing a big thing this year, my dude. You've already done a lot of big things this year. You've done a lot for yourself. Do you think this is one that you can? Do you think this is one you can quit?
So like my problem is like I wish there was a way to be able to scroll and like just disable comments on it. You know,
Prevent
I wish I
yourself from commenting.
Like, I am perfectly okay with doom scrolling. I am perfectly okay with it. I don't think it's good. I don't think it's good.
I was gonna say, didn't we have a whole conversation where you talked about how you
I don't think it's good. I don't think it's good, but I've accepted that I will do it. And I've accepted like that's the thing. My brain's already mush from it. We're past that.
Oh, okay. Well, we can fix that. You can work on it.
No, we're pudding up in here. All right, and we're applesauce. Applesauce.
Have you seen the ads that are replace doom scrolling with micro learning?
Yes, I have been getting those.
Okay, I've never clicked on one, but it's almost gotten me a couple times. I've been like, "What is this? What's micro learning? What am I doing here? Is this a 30-second lesson?"
Like, I want you to know I've seen that, and like every time I see it, I'm like, I bet Cody would fucking love this.
You look at it and you think of me. I knew
it. You'd be talking to us in our daily calls. You'd be like, "Yes, I've been doing this, guys. It's awesome." And it'd be like, "He seems just as smart as he was." I don't know.
Oh, that's so funny. But I will say, so 100%, if you're out there, spend time learning. Do actually spend time learning, not doom scrolling. You don't have to go do the whatever the ad that I just quoted is. I don't even know the name of the company. I just know that ad because that ad copy is phenomenal. But 100% go learn. Spend time every day learning. It's something I advocate for. Everyone should be.
We should take the learning. We should take like the learning idea of like doom scrolling, like whatever they're doing with that app, and then just dedicate it to like language learning. You know, I bet there'd be a lot of people who'd love to jump on an app that's like, oh, this is how you do this word. And then like you scroll and like, this is the next word. This is the next. And then like you scroll to one and it's like, oh, this is them in a sentence, you know, and you just slowly sit there, like scroll through and like learn languages and stuff.
See, and now I'm over here like the main thing that draws people to TikTok. This is a business idea. We're in the wrong podcast for this one, but let's wrap it out. You know what I heard recently?
What's that?
Let's chop it up.
Let's chop it up.
Let's chop it up.
Right, Gordon Ramsay.
Oh my goodness. No, I learned it from Love Island. Yeah, I know, right? Which I'm not an advocate for reality.
Yes, you are. You've talked about Love Island every time I've seen you in front of the camera for the past 2 weeks.
I don't know if I've talked about Love Island on camera for the past 2 weeks, but I did finish Love Island season 7 recently.
If you just finished season 7, let that be a let you know.
Well, I've only watched one. It's like a reality TV show. You don't go back and watch the early seasons. You watch the most recent.
Tell that to my sister-in-law.
Did she go back and watch old after watching the most?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, yeah, if she finds a new one she liked and she's like, oh, this was good. Now I'm gonna go because, like, what's the difference between watching season 1 and watching season 7? It's just different people. It's the same content, different people.
So I know, like, when I watched MasterChef, I watched like the most recent season of MasterChef, and then you go back. And it's just kind of dated. They didn't have the algorithm figured out. You know what I mean? You know how, so like we've always talked about it. We talk about it on the show. We started and we didn't have this shit figured out. And now we're kind of into it. We're a little bit better. We've got a system. There's no delay. We're talking. I haven't heard you say like 100 million times.
I've been doing a good job of that today.
Yeah,
I've been doing a great
actively
job.
I'm here for it. I think we've been doing better. I like to think I've been doing better. Like we've been on a roll. So slow improvements. Season 2 next year is going to be even better. So when I look at, season 7 of Love Island, phenomenal. They've mastered this. It's on like 3 continents at this point. They've got After Sun. They've got After Show. They've got a whole like in-universe network. So this is peak. You know what's not peak?
Maybe don't go back to season 1. Go back to season 4. I bet they got the ball rolling by that point.
You bet.
Dude, listen, it's all trash reality. Don't go to it and be like, "Hey, look at season 4 is trash." It's like, yeah, guess what? It all is.
Shit. Well, so the thing is,
It's
I like
it's
it
literally
because
called
it's
trash
camp.
reality television.
I like the camp. I like that it is like it's on the level of understanding that it's trash reality TV. It doesn't pretend to be anything but trash reality TV, and I'm here for that.
Hey, if you're here for it, that's all that matters.
Well, exactly.
And I will admit, like I said, I watch it with my sister-in-law. She forces me whenever I'm in LA or whenever she's out here in Michigan. And by the time she forces me to watch an entire season whenever we watch it, and by the end I'm like watching it. I won't pretend like I'm not. But I also am someone who truly believes that like prolonged exposure to anything will breed interest.
Mm-hmm.
You know? It's like if you play a video game that you hate, but you play it for 2 months, by 2 months, you're gonna find parts of it you enjoy,
Yeah, when you spend that much time on something, like you are going to enjoy it. I will say, so like Love Island was really long. It was 37 or 36 episodes,
How long
and
is the
most of them
episode?
are an hour. Some of them
Oh,
are up to like an hour and a half or two. So it was a lot of content. The early part of it was like weird, and it was like getting into it, and so it was the first like 8 episodes were a lot, and then that middle part for like episode 8 to episode like 24 was phenomenal. It was just the campiest, most like I didn't know what was going to happen. The thing is, I never watched the show. If you've ever watched like Survivor, you know how the show is set up. You know,
yeah,
there's going to
I
be a
was just
challenge.
about to ask, like, what is the premise of Love Island? Like, I thought it was just like we drop like 20 single people on an island. Let's see if they bone. You know?
No, so they put like 5 guys, 5 girls onto an island, and they basically have them compete in random like games. But it's really campy and understanding like, hey, we put 5 really hot, really sexy, or 10 really hot, really sexy people into a villa, and we're gonna make them play like sexy games basically where they like have to make out with each other and ice break and like do all this random crap, and it's literally they go out there to like sell sex basically, and that's the whole point. Like they go in with the mindset that this is what we're gonna do, and it's not a question. It's not like they're being surprised and they're getting pushed outside their comfort zone to do these things. No, this is what they signed up for.
Yeah.
They signed up here to be doing this crazy shit, and they know it. They talk about it actively.
Yeah.
They're in it, and they're like, that was crazy. This is disgusting. This is horrible. Like, this is an experience that we signed up for, and I'm here for the experience. But the whole premise is your goal is to like find a person and couple up with them, and then at the end, if you're coupled up, you have the chance to win $100,000.
Oh,
So there
nice.
are 4 couples in the finale, and then you
And
vote. America votes for whichever
what
one
was there just like some fugly guy that just like never even had a chance to couple up and like it was known throughout the entire show?
there was some. So there was never any like fugly anything. I didn't watch it live, so there was like a whole community surrounding it at the time, and so I didn't get to like be a part of the community. But there was a lot of like people hating on certain couples or certain people, or like,
That seems to be the way it always goes. Is there are
yeah.
people that are like the villains or like
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
the main like people that are hated. So the main ones that I've watched,
Mhm.
like I watched Married at First Sight was like the one that I saw like the entire season of,
Yeah.
one of the seasons, which the premise behind that was like, basically like we have these therapists that are going to talk to each and every person, and then those therapists are going to pair you with someone that you've never met before, and you are going to meet them at your wedding, and you're going to get married, and then you guys are going to go on a honeymoon and spend 2 months together, and then decide if you want to keep the marriage together or not. I was
Mhm.
talking and I was like, how have they not just found the ugliest person they could and put them on this show? Because like every person was like an attractive person, and it's like give someone like how is that not a dynamic that they are not shooting for every season? Where it's like
Well,
shit, I got the ugly one. Now we have to, and like that. That's horrible. It's horrible to take advantage of someone and do that.
no,
But
no. So the thing
oh,
is, sex sells. First of all, as marketers, I think we need to acknowledge, and so that's where Love Island, like they play it up to the nines. Everything is like literally and we were laughing about this, Cassidy and I were, because this is absurd. It's crazy that this is a thing, but there's a part of the villa called, I can't even remember what it's called, but it's like a separate room shack, whatever, that people, oh, it's called the Hideaway. So they
Okay.
can, people can go to the Hideaway, and the expectation in the Hideaway is that you have sex because you're not sleeping in a group with everyone else. And
Yeah.
so they're literally like, oh yeah, go to the Hideaway. They're like hyping it up. Everyone in the villa is like sending this couple to like go to a special room to do it,
Yeah.
where they all are aware of it, and it's just the weirdest thing.
Like I always wonder, like in those reality shows where it's like, oh, they're gonna bang, they're gonna hook up, and it's like, yeah, but do they actually? You know, like I feel like there's so much where it's like, yeah, all right, now we're gonna do this part where we're gonna act like you guys hook up, and then we're going to have our cameras there in the morning when you guys are waking up. So pretend like you're waking up from having a long night together, you know, and it's like they probably like.
See,
I don't know. I'm willing to
it's
bet every now and then there's hookups that actually happen on these shows, but I bet there's more often than not fake hookups.
so right now I want you to know everything in the villa is recorded. They talk about how many there's hundreds of cameras, there are hundreds of
Does
microphones,
it film
and
them
there oh, there is video of them under covers multiple times, not even kidding.
undercovers?
Yeah,
Exactly.
it is not visible.
That was filmed. They were like, go in there and roll around under the covers so that we have footage to make it look like you guys actually did this.
You can say maybe, but also like all of the other people, dude. Okay, I want you to watch the show because I think I think that you would be surprised, and I do think it's real. I'd be curious. Maybe it's
like
not.
I said, like I want to go ahead and say I did say that I believe there are some real hookups that probably happen on these shows.
Yeah.
I'm not saying there are none, but I'm willing to bet that there are a lot of them that are not real.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, but all this to say, join Jordan and I for Love Island season 8 on our new
We're
podcast.
gonna do a reaction video. Listen, if you can get Joe to approve me watching an hour a week of Love Island reaction video, like live on YouTube, I'll do that. I'll watch.
That is not going to be company time. That is going to be, if we want to do a Love Island podcast, it's going to be out. Dude, I'm already going to do it.
Listen,
I don't need a
if
co-host.
we could get enough viewers, there's no reason that it couldn't be company time. If we got enough people to watch it just for the viewership, I bet we could get it on company time, because I'm willing to bet we could get more viewers for that than we get for this.
I mean, probably. I mean, the thing is,
I don't think we have anybody watching.
I wonder how many male-dominated podcasts for Love Island there already are, because there's got to be some. And the thing is, I would have loved to have someone, because when they removed Sierra from the villa, like, dude, I lost it, man. I was nicking Sierra all the way, and then Sierra had to go and she got removed for using a slur, I think. Like, not kidding. Which they're another good thing, flat out. They don't deal with that shit.
Yeah,
they removed 2 people.
Good.
And one of the people they removed was in the final like week. They're literally heading into the final, and they were the number 1 couple. And they removed the girl from it because she used a bad word. And it's like, yeah, no, we don't with that. Get out.
That's crazy.
Yeah, dude. And they, not even kidding, they got rid of her, and then he got with her best friend. What?
Like I said, edit it. It's not live.
Well, no, they didn't say it in the villa or on live TV or anything. She said it like off camera behind whatever, and
crazy.
They found it, and we're like, yeah,
that's
we're
really
not gonna.
Crazy.
Yeah, they don't entertain that.
Like
shit
they found it like not to be this guy, but like cancel culture back. They went back and found her having said it. Like
no. She said it on the villa, and apparently, I don't think they released everything, but she definitely was like that on the villa. They do go back and they audit all of the stuff that you do, but the thing is, they do that because when you're on the television show. So, for example,
you don't want them to like pull that up like mid-season and then wreck your show. I get that. Oh yeah,
and it's also on the level of like you want to be very upfront and blunt about what you've done and who you've been, because if you lie and America knows, they're not going to vote for you at the end. So like one of the people had like over 100 hookups, and he was like, they added, one of the questions was like, he eventually had to like out that, and he's like, yeah, I've slept with like 117 people or something like that. He was the most by far, and so he like owned up to it, but it was like very blunt. They own everything, and they're like, yeah, I was a shitty person. This is what happened. I have cheated on people. Like, they're blunt with the negatives and the good, because if they lie, it's all going to come out, because America's back there and the internet exists.
Exactly. There's no such thing as a secret in America.
Exactly. Oh, dude, it's crazy. A little bit off topic for everyone here.
It's
Sorry
very
to
off
sorry to
topic.
hit it.
I didn't even remember what our topic for today's live was.
Well, the thing is, you're gonna be watching.
Organization skills.
You're gonna be watching Love Island at the end of this. That's all I know. But
oh god, we're gonna have an 8-hour car ride, and Cody and Cassidy are just gonna put Love Actually on a laptop and watch it.
Oh, we know it. Well, it's either that or Dungeon Crawler Carl, man.
Listen, I added 45 songs to a playlist. So I don't think it was that many.
Which, hey, question for the chat: if you're going on if you're going on a long car ride, do you make a new playlist for it? I do. Cassidy doesn't. She said she doesn't make playlists like that. Would you normally do that?
No.
No?
Cody, there's nobody in the chat.
There are 3 people in the chat right now.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
I see 0.
4 people, I think. Maybe.
Oh,
I'm
not watching on YouTube. I'm here on Riverside, so
yeah. I'm looking on Riverside and I see 3, but
I don't make playlists. I personally am someone who, so listen, I know I gave you crap when I was like audiobook, like I don't want to listen to your guys' audiobook for an 8-hour car, and I don't, because I don't want to listen to someone else's audiobook.
But I want to listen to my audiobook.
Yeah, but I would never expect you guys to want to listen to my audiobook either. But like if I'm by myself, if it's a solo car ride, audiobook, I will go to I'll just go to my favorite musician. If I'm like want to listen to music, I'll just go to like a musician and then I'll hit shuffle on them. Most of the music I listen to outside of like every now and then when I branch out a little bit is kind of in like the same ballpark. So a lot of times if I shuffle one artist, I'll get a lot of the other one, or not the other one, but the other artists I like. So like that'll be what I do. Sometimes I'll put YouTube videos on and I'll have them up on my desk. I don't watch them. Normally it's more like almost like a YouTube audiobook almost, you know.
I will 100% put on a number of different audiobooks. Have you ever heard of the YouTube channel Overly Sarcastic Productions?
I think I have.
I will actually 100% shill them to everyone who's listening right now. Overly Sarcastic Productions on YouTube. They do like animated videos of like ancient history basically, and they'll go over ancient historical facts or like written works. So like I have 100% like fallen asleep to the audiobook of them talking or reading through different like stories or telling the story of like Sun Wukong is one of the famous ones. So 10 out of 10, check that out. Love it. But with that said, audiobook wise, I mean, I've got number 1. That's what I was gonna intro it and be like, yo, if you guys wanna audiobook, book 1 of Dungeon Crawler Carl. We'll give the first chapter a try. If you guys don't like it, we turn it off. I'm not too worried about it. But I do think it's really good, and it is also the best audiobook. Like if you listen to audiobooks and you like quality of audiobook, you will hear the quality of this, and I think you'll actually really enjoy it.
I just don't think audiobook for a 4-person car ride is the move.
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
You know,
if you don't think it's the move, it's not the move.
It's hard to talk during audiobooks.
Oh, I'm also not going to want to talk for 8.5 hours straight either. But maybe it'll be a process of figuring it out, and it's going to be a good time regardless. I'm actually super stoked. I love long car rides.
I have a YouTube channel that I'm trying to remember what it's called here. I got my phone in my hand here trying to remember. After I listen to an audiobook, I've talked to you a bit about like my reading comprehension, just comprehension as a whole. Like ADD kind of tends to make me miss little spots. I hit gaps and things. So I always try to then listen to a recap of something after I've watched or listened to it. And I can't remember. I want to say it's like Hood Literature or like Hood Reads or something like that, where it's like this like urban guy like reading like from the hood, pretty much like reading these like story breakdowns and stuff. And I fucking love them, dude. Like it just puts things in such like a simple way of understanding things that I don't know. I just I listen to those almost immediately. Like I will finish an audiobook and then almost immediately go pull up like the Hood Reads
just to get the
gangster read. Yeah.
Which I mean, dude, different viewpoints, being able to hear things explained differently is always really good. when I'm reading, I do really enjoy hearing other people's viewpoints. There's
Mhm.
a book that I want to reread called Red Rising. I've
Yeah,
talked about it
yeah,
a
we
number of
talked about that.
times, but I've
Yeah.
been thinking about it so much because it blew up on TikTok and a bunch of other people are reading it. And so I'm like, oh crap, all these people are reading it and have opinions. I want to reread it now too. And you can see Loki down here
Yeah, I've
playing.
been staring at him.
You
I watched him take a
distracting.
bite at your arm.
Uh,
Yeah, very distracting.
he's very distracting, I will say.
Picked a good time to come distract though in the last 5 minutes.
I was gonna say we're winding down on the Joey Matterhorn live today. We maybe got a little bit off topic there in the middle with some of our
I
special
think
interests.
I think it
But
was good.
I was gonna say, but to bring it back around to kind of finish this out, if you are using a bunch of features online to talk with your team, if you're using like Teams or something like that, there's a lot of capabilities in there. Make sure you're using it to the best of your ability. We talked about like email, phones, calls, texts. Um, I did want to touch on like boundaries. Like make sure you maintain some boundaries when you're
Yeah.
using your personal phone for stuff like this. Like I talked about using my personal Facebook for some of this stuff, for some of my work related. Um, that's a step like that gives up like if I don't have access to a personal Facebook now, I'm going to get ads related to good rep if I do that. I'm not going to, like Jordan said, I'm going to get different algorithms when I scroll. So it's all a give or take when you do those types of things. And on top of if you give your boss your personal phone number, if he's contacting you outside of work for work things, it's worth noting, like Jordan, have I ever contacted you outside of work hours for work related
I don't
things?
think so.
Yeah, it's not something that I will probably ever do. And if I do, I think it's probably something that is almost unrelated, or it'll be like we're at D&D together and we'll talk about something for
Yeah,
5
like, that's definitely happened, but that's like a
Yeah.
mutual thing. I would have
Yeah.
no problem being like, dude, I don't feel like talking about work right now if it was an issue.
Yeah.
You know?
It's you need to be able to separate your work and your life and be able to actually like get in and be like, "Hey, so I'm going to learn and do this thing."
Now, we say that, however, we are salary. You
Yes.
know, like we are salary. So, like, honestly, if like we got a call at 4 a.m. or something on a Saturday, technically we are supposed to answer that. But we are in a position where, like, one of the things I love about our company is like, yeah, we're salary, but like it's like a salary that's treated like hourly. Like, I don't think Joe has that mindset of like it's salary, they're my employees 24/7. You know, like I think he does know, like, no, they need their time on the weekends. You know, I'm not gonna call them on the weekends. He might do it like Micah or someone, you know, that kind of gets commission based off that thing. So like Micah's gonna want to go do some stuff on the weekend if it means getting more money and everything like that, you know?
Yeah, and it is very much like a if you want to do more for more money, then you can do more for more money. Like that would be great. But like,
Yeah.
do you? And
Yeah, sometimes.
we don't have very many ways to do that either. Like I'll be honest. I'm trying to think of like extra ways to make extra money. But regardless, the main thing is like as salary, we are available when needed, but we also have a little bit of freedom in our schedules to do what's needed and what we want. And that's really, really nice for us to have. Like I'll be honest. I
Yeah.
am appreciative of having that kind of freedom to step in when I need to step in, step up when I want to step up. And then I mean, at the end of the day, it also falls on me to make sure everything gets done. So like if something needs to get done, I'm here and getting it done,
Yeah.
solving the problem, figuring it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which, I mean, I think that kind of leads us into a little outro, little finish here. Um, Pick a hub, make sure you're using it correctly, make sure you're using it as best you can, keep some boundaries, work-life balance, make sure you're taking care of yourself. Love Island is pretty good. Reality TV can be really trashy. Did I miss anything?
No.
I think I got it all.
I
Hell
don't know.
yeah,
I wasn't listening.
that's what I'm here for. Let me forgive as I'm literally getting pulled down by this cat.
Yeah, the cat's trying to get at you.
He hears me
Yeah, I mean,
talking, man, and it's the rumble. Get the claws out of the shirt. Come on, Bubba. But hey,
it's time to pay
thanks for
attention.
joining me on the good rep me or the good rep team. Cody here.
You got it. You got it. Refocus.
Jordan here from the good rep team. Sorry, he got a claw into my
Yeah,
chest
he's
right
getting
then.
He's getting you there.
Okay. Oh, good
Uh,
boy. But hey, it's been Jordan and Cody. with the Good Rep Media team on the Joey Matterhorn channel. Thanks for joining us. Join us next week at noon on the Joey Matterhorn channel, where we will be talking about something related to marketing. But do join us tomorrow on the Good Rep Media YouTube channel, where we're going to be talking about, what was it again?
Yes.
I thought you were prepped, man.
No, I didn't even know what we were. I didn't even have notes open today.
The face of the business. Do you need one? As shown by Jordan and I, probably the face of Good Rep right now. Probably not. Unless they're good, better than what we got going on. Yeah, I got the link coming. Come check us out. We're at goodrep.media. We're a small business marketing agency. We help small businesses rank better on Google. We help you get more customers into your door, into your store. And we are pretty good at it. If you want us to prove it, we can. And we do that by chatting. So come to our website, fill out the form. We'll be in contact. We offer free 30-minute consultations, so feel free. But thanks for joining us. It's been Jordan and Cody. Have a good night.